Hey, Sarah, how you doing today?
I'm good, FATBOY. How are you? Good morning.
It's
Monday.
I hope you're going to tell us about that video.
I have all the tea. I have all of it.
No, that video is just ridiculous. So I first saw it on Friday, and it just had this dude with a camera filming his wife.
Yes.
And some dude on their marital bed complaining, on my bed.
Yes.
And
exactly.
oh, yeah, we saw them looking disheveled and naked, and it was very embarrassing. So what exactly happened?
So this is what happened. A pregnant woman, only identified as Martha, and her pastor were caught red-handed having sex on her marital bed. And they were surrounded by fetish items. For those of you who didn't watch it, they had candles, they had a pot, there was a red cloth.
A frying pan?
A frying pan? Like, what the hell was going on? A lot of people are asking
Something
questions.
was cooking.
Definitely, that's funny. Yes.
There.
And the husband was only heard saying and confronting his wife by saying, Martha, really, in my house, in my bed? And he refused her to move. And so she was just standing there pregnant. She looked a bit like she was maybe 6, 7 months old pregnant. Yes, but we don't really know why, what was happening, really. But what we do know is that according to what we gathered is that the name of the pastor in the viral video, he's called P.S.C. Enoch Peters, and he has a church in Zambia.
Zambia?
Yes.
Wow, no wonder South Africans are so xenophobic. Because Martha is South African, no?
Yes, she is.
So the thing is, here's what I don't understand, is that if he's a pastor, why are there all these traditional accessories
there,
all strewn all over the floor?
Yes, and the name of his church is God's Ministry, and it has a little over 100 members, and he's also a married man.
But of course
he is. Yes, he's also a married man, and this is the thing. Now, we don't know what exactly they were doing, but it looks like it was a ritual. It kind of looks like it was a ritual, and I don't know. My assumption is probably he may even be the one responsible for her pregnancy, because I don't understand why. I don't understand why an already pregnant woman would be having intercourse with another man, let alone her pastor. But this is the thing that always happens a lot, and this is why I don't go to church. It's not that I'm atheist and don't believe that God doesn't exist. I do believe there's a God out there, or somebody looking, over us and making all these things happen. But one thing is that I also do know that there are a lot of people and a lot of false prophets who are taking advantage of the fact that people are looking for redemption, are looking for healing, are looking for answers to all their problems. And we had this conversation sometime on the FATBOY Show, and I said my problem is with pastors and churches is that they never direct you to go get help from professionals. They tell you to pray about it.
Excuse me, they're the professionals. They're the spiritual professionals.
Please. If they're the spiritual professionals, then I don't think God would put on this earth doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, and accountants and chefs and nutritionists and, fitness trainers. He wouldn't be giving us these talents. And I think and I believe that is how God heals us and answers our prayers, by putting in place people who become professionals to answer our prayers. So if you're dealing with infertility, don't be sleeping with your pastor who is bringing a frying pan and a pot and candles and red cloth to your marital bedroom. And his D. What is that?
The magic wand. But look, I saw someone
God
saying
stuff.
that sometimes... No, someone was making this argument that she had previously had issues with prior pregnancies.
Yes.
Not being able to carry them to term. And thus she might have felt a need to perform these rituals while pregnant in order to ensure a safe delivery.
That she keeps the pregnancy.
That's a hypothesis I saw being floated. Everyone's turning into a philosopher now over this scandal.
But you know what? That hypothesis is actually also something... I have a baby, and when I was pregnant and when I went for antenatal, I did my antenatal in Mulago Hospital, and the midwives always cautioned us about doing ridiculous, dumb things like this.
Like what?
Like, do not go and just have sex, recklessly, unless it's under the advisement of your gynecologist.
Wait, hold up. What do you mean recklessly? Is there a reckless way to have sex?
There are some people who do it recklessly, that boy. Yeah.
Well.
And they're doing things that they're not supposed to be doing.
Well, I beg
Yeah?
to be educated. But
Listen,
like,
yeah.
are there like rules on how you should have sex or what kind you should have?
It depends because every pregnancy is different and every woman experiences it differently and your body takes it differently from the next woman. So just because some woman is thriving and going about it flawlessly does not mean it's the same thing for you. And also when women get pregnant, there are so many superstitions that surround it. For instance, some women are like, don't allow people to touch your belly because they may be cussing you. Others are like, oh, you must eat ant soil where a dog has
gosh.
shit so that you can have, no labor. Imagine that.
That's just
Others are
wrong.
like, you should, put some herbs, inside your uterus so that you can have, there's so many things, there's so many superstitions, there's so many things that happen. And
Okay, so as someone who's been pregnant before, can you tell me this?
what's that?
If the man is too well endowed, can such a man puncture the amniotic sac
Absolutely not.
that carries the baby?
Absolutely not.
Because that's I've always had that weird image in my head of where like
Yes,
maybe
that you poke the baby.
yeah,
No.
and then the water breaks, and then boom.
No, absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not. Not at
No,
all.
no man can get that far in.
You can't get that far in. You really cannot.
I'm sure some dudes can.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
No, and I know for sure you cannot. But this is the thing. When you're pregnant, the only person you should listen to is your doctor. Not your pastor, not your husband, not your traditional healer, not your mother-in-law, not your mother. Nobody. The only person you should listen to is your doctor, your gynecologist. And for this woman, Bambi, I think she was probably manipulated into thinking, oh yeah, this is a man of God. And it's
Maybe
always
she was
the
just
case.
stupid. There's
That is
that
the
too.
thing. She is stupid. I will
But
just say that.
another dimension to this is that a lot of men tend to think that the woman who you ought to least suspect of sneaking out will be a pregnant one. Like if she's pregnant, then you can just relax because, I mean, after all, she's pregnant. But actually, the fact is there are some men out there who have a fetish for pregnant women. Have
That
you heard
is
of that before?
That is true. I've heard of that.
The guy's
before.
like, oh, she's pregnant.
That is
Okay, I want that.
Yeah,
So,
and I think it's because
You're not
for,
safe.
for some men it's because he can't get her pregnant. So the issue of getting her pregnant is out the window.
In
and
other
he
words, it's
can
a
go
very
in
visible
life.
sign of
Exactly.
pregnancy, so there's no concern about. yeah.
Exactly.
Wow,
but,
this is just messed up, man.
But you know what's very dangerous? A very desperate person. A
Yeah.
very desperate, naive, and ignorant person.
So should he forgive her?
No. I don't. No. I don't think that he should. Like how the law says that ignorance is not a. What's the word? What do they say? Because you're ignorant, you can't plead innocent.
Some people were also saying that the pastor was a bit too.
Small. No, I think it was in the moment he got scared and he shrunk. He had to go back into hiding.
Wait, can fear cause it to retract that quickly?
Look at a tortoise. When it feels threatened, it's going to.
Like, yeah, I ain't getting chopped off today. No, thank you.
Not today.
Let me retract into the body.
Not today, Satan. Not
No.
today.